The Oklahoma Sooners are back dancing in the NCAA tournament. The bracket was just revealed about 10 minutes ago. And boy, did the Sooners have to wait to see where they were, Jay. I was on pins and needles because
you were freaking out, man. I mean, you were freaking out. It's like they were going to be in, Jay.
I can't hear what you're saying. You're blurry and laggy. Hey, I absolutely was freaking out because it's the last bracket, and then to see where OU ends up. Personally, I'm not a fan of the draw. I don't like facing the two-time defending champions first, and then following that up with a matchup against Florida, who just totally annihilated OU. But the biggest news is this team's dancing for the first time under Porter Moser. They're in the big dance, and I will say this: eyes will be on this game. And Sooner fan, you're right. This is like the first time I've paid attention in a couple of years. I know last year I thought they would make it, and they didn't. This year, it was pretty much a lock, but man, you had to wait till the last bracket. But Jay, eyes are going to be watching this game. It's one of the better first-round matchups, this 8-9 matchup with UConn, because they are the two-time defending champions. So until someone beats them, they're the champs. So OU gets an opportunity to knock out the defending champions.
Yeah, and Jerem, I think you look at it, and UConn, like you said, two-time defending champ. They, I believe, lead the country in blocks. So I'm wondering how that's going to work with the inside game with UConn. But it's not a great draw for Oklahoma. It's just not. I mean, they would have been better off looking at some of these other draws, like 10 or 11 seed with some of these other teams. It's not a great draw, but they're in the dance. And now you go see what you can do. Friday, Sunday. Remember, Friday, Sunday are the games. Very tough draw for Oklahoma.
We should find out game time tonight.
Hey, comparable. Look at this. Arkansas, 10 seed. They get Kansas and then St. John's. OU, a 9 seed, gets UConn and Florida.
Well, there are a lot of strange things. UNC getting in the play-in game.
Absolute joke. Absolute joke.
One quad win. And hey, absolute joke. But what did I tell you last night, Jay? What did I tell you last night when you basically said, you're ridiculous, Jerem? Well, I said they're going to get in because it's UNC. And
it is ridiculous. Right. Here's the thing. 1-12 versus quad one. And I'm sorry, the head of the committee being the AD, that's an issue.
It looks bad. But Jay, I told you so.
Yeah, it looks bad when you leave a team out like West Virginia, who has beaten Kansas on the road, beat Gonzaga, beat Arizona, and you got North Carolina as one win against quad.
You know a team that got absolutely ripped? Michigan. They win the Big Ten tournament.
They got hosed, yeah.
They're a 5 seed. They're playing in Colorado against San Diego. They got
– yeah. Hey, and UC San Diego's on a heater right now. They're playing really well. That's a tough draw.
I don't draw for OU, but I like the opportunity to knock out Danny Hurley, who I have issues with. He's going to lose his mind when Jeremiah Fears draws about 10 fouls on ball and some of their guards. He's going to lose his mind when Fears throws his arms up. He's going to lose it. I love it.
Yeah, that'll be a tough for Oklahoma. UConn's going to have a crowd advantage, I think.
Well, it's in North Carolina, though.
I know, but UConn.
It's not close to Connecticut.
I get it, but OU's. I mean, if OU had been in Wichita or something, they could have got maybe a better following to go down there. Show just started open. One more thing. The other thing that just shocked me to no end. Louisville,
8 seed.
8 seed. Louisville. You know what? If they win, Auburn.
Oh, I know.
The only positive is that's in Lexington. Hey, you mark it right now. Auburn's out. They're out after the round of 32. They're out.
I agree with you, Jay. I agree with you.
Louisville's beating them. They've lost 3 or 4 down the stretch. In Lexington, give me Louisville. I'm going with it right now.
Hey, Sooner fan says, will Godwin be back? He's got another week of recovery. I expect him to be able to play. I don't know how many minutes, but here's the deal. They got McNeely. They've got McNeely with their best big. They have a really good. Their best shooter is Solomon Ball. He'll make 3 to 5 3-pointers a game. So OU's going to have to clamp up on the outside, which I think they will. I mean, you put Duke and Miles on a guy like that. I think, guys, Jalen Moore's ability, because they don't play a true center, Jay. They play multiple forwards, but not a true center. But they do lead the nation in blocks, I think.
Yeah, and they've won 2 in a row. I mean, but here's the thing. They're not the UConn of the last 2 years. They're just not.
They're not. Okay, Jay, compare UConn to some SEC schools.
Well, that's hard to do, Jerome. I mean, that's hard to do.
They're not tier SEC. And here's the deal. There's a lot to look at the bracket. I haven't even really broken it down yet because it's hard to get anywhere past the first 2 games. But the opportunity for Porter Moser and company to take down Danny Hurley and the 2-time defending champions, I love that opportunity.
I will say this, and I have to look here. Let me just pull this up. But as a 9 seed, as far as the 8 seeds you could play, if you between UConn was an 8, Gonzaga was an 8. Let's see,
Mississippi State, you wouldn't have played.
Mississippi State, and I'm trying to remember the last one. I got it here.
I can't remember Louisville.
So, I mean, I would have rather.
It's about the same as all the 8s, Jay.
I would have rather played Gonzaga, but UConn.
Not me. I would rather play UConn than Gonzaga.
Maybe the issue isn't the UConn game. It's if you win that, who you play. And Florida's just on a heater right now. They are unbelievable. But 14 teams from one conference gets in. The fact Texas I didn't think Texas would make the play-in game, Jerm. Didn't think it would happen. They did.
I didn't either. Hey, I don't really. I have nothing. And by the way, what CBS did with Greg Gumbel at the beginning was class. I absolutely loved it. I don't have anything against Clark Kellogg personally. I just think Clark Kellogg will never, ever get out of a comfort zone and actually make a strong, bold take. He tells you exactly what you need to hear.
Plays the fence.
He just straddles the fence and tells you everything. There's no risk taking it in what he says. Seth Davis took some risk. By the way, Seth picked OU to beat UConn.
Yeah, he's a big OU this year. He's on the OU bandwagon this year. I'm going to drop the phone line link if anybody likes to call.
Jay, I expect OU UConn to be in the nightcap. I think the television of Fears versus Danny. I think it's going to be a night matchup.
I don't know. It could be, or it could be a 11 a.m., 11:30. I mean, it could go either way. It's Friday though. It gives you an extra day. Friday, Sunday for Oklahoma. Zias thinks it'll be a night game as well, Jerm.
Yeah.
Clark does it all year long.
He does CBS all year on CBS Network.
Yeah, Michigan got hosed a little bit. You could go through it. West Virginia not making the tournaments is shocking.
I want to know who on here, because Jay was questioning me. Who on here was nervous on the last bracket?
No.
I was nervous as all get out.
How?
Because you've seen it, but you never know.
Texas was already in, Jerm.
And they had the same record as OU in conference, Jay.
And they were already in, and OU
and they won an extra game in the conference tournament. You never know, Jay.
OU has so many better wins than Texas, Jerm.
I guarantee you most people in here were nervous.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Daniel trusted you, Jay.
How are you being nervous and then they're a 9 seed? That tells you were way off. But
I have the right to be nervous. StreamYard link is there if you want to call in. We're going to be on here for about 20 or 25 minutes because it's about dinner time. I'll be able to break down my bracket. And then, of course, we have our normal 9:30 live tonight.
Yeah, Okie says only nervous who they were going to stick OU against. So that's kind of where I was waiting. In fact, I was hoping they weren't going to be when they showed UConn. I was hoping it wasn't being OU at 9. I was hoping OU be down there where Kansas was or Arkansas was. Yeah. I think that'd have been a better spot.
Although St. John's in Rhode Island is not a good matchup either, Jay.
No, but the SEC was favored. I mean, you got 14 teams. You got teams like Missouri getting a 6.
Think about this, Jay. 14 out of 16 made the big dance.
That's wild.
That's unbelievable. Why would Porter Moser ever want to get out of Oklahoma? You just don't finish the last 2 and you're going to make the dance? It's insane.
Yeah, Texas is in, and they got the playing game, Xavier, so we'll see how that goes. But then if they win, don't they play like UCLA? I think
Hey, there is. I do think there's something to be said for this, Jay. And here's what I'm about to say. Florida wins the SEC tournament, correct?
Yeah.
They're on a high. They got
Yeah.
Norfolk State. They're going to destroy them, likely. And then they've got to play an SEC opponent in the second round. Like, there's got to be something in their mind thinking, oh, boy, I would hate to lose to an SEC team in the second round. All the pressure on that young coach.
Yeah, but Jerem, I've watched Florida quite a bit this year, and the matchup's not good for Oklahoma. Florida.
No, with the bigs they have, they're loaded with. Hey, Porter Moser is going to have to pull something out of his hat, and I mean a zone defense. He's got to do something special.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and tell you one of my big upsets. Now, this is early on, so it was my first glance at the bracket earlier, and I was like, ooh, this one stands out. So watch it. Texas Tech losing first round. Drake. Isn't it Drake? Don't they play Drake? If I remember right, I thought it was Drake. Second round, they would play Drake. Because Texas Tech 3 seed, Drake 11 seed. I think Drake beats Missouri and then beats Texas Tech. That's kind of one of my teams to Sweet 16 it right there. Hey, how about this?
The AD is comment. Hey, the AD is on the committee. Jay, let me know if I'm too loud. I'm getting.
They had to get the vice president or vice person to come talk. It was pretty funny.
Hey, I'm nuts has the best statement of the night. It doesn't matter who OU's playing because we dancing. We finally dancing, man. It's so nice to be in the big dance. It is so nice. Who cares who we're playing? It's just huge to be in it. And Jenna's right. Jenna's right. Duke, Auburn, Florida, Houston. Like when Houston showed up on the board, I didn't want that matchup.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, from Jenna. Here's the difference. You can say that, but at the same time, if OU would have lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game, they would have had a better draw. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well,
they would have. They
would have worried about making it at that point.
They would have, Jeremy. They would have had a better draw.
Would have, could have, should have. It doesn't matter.
They didn't jump two spots because they beat Georgia.
You know what, Jay? Here's something that's true, and you can take it to the bank, even though it's Sunday. This bank's open. Here's what's true. You never know in March Madness, Jason. Some matchups that look good, bad things happen, and some matchups that look favorable, you lose. That is what happens in this thing that we call March Madness. And you know what else is madness? We got Okie Long down the guy. It's spring break. OU's dancing. Okie, give me something.
Man, I'm on a cloud 9 right now because I just got done finishing watching OU baseball. Come back, jaywalk, hits a home run to go up 6-5, and Crooks comes in and slams the door, baby.
Hey, and Okie, that would have been a bad loss. They had so many errors. That would have been a bad loss.
Yeah. Hey, but still, it's their first one, SEC. Let's go. Road Dogs, baby.
That's right.
Road Dogs, you get the W, and then you got OU announced on Selection Sunday. Can't get much better than that.
No, it can't be. Absolutely. So I'm just kind of curious your guys' thoughts on we're all happy about OU getting in. So what's we know we're gonna win the whole thing, but I just want to know what your guys' expectations are. Like, what should we have as a fan base as far as expectations be?
Get a win. One win.
One win. Okay.
I would be happy with one. Look, you have the opportunity of a lifetime to. It's not very often you get a chance to beat the 2-time defending champion. So right now, UConn is the 2-time defending champion. No one can say otherwise. They know how to play in March, and OU has a chance in front of the national audience, Fears and company, to make a statement. Solomon Ball is their 3-point specialist. I think you can lock him down. McNeely does a lot of things, passing, rebounding. OU is going to have to limit them on the glass, which OU has been better rebounding as of late. And I think Jalen Moore is going to have to be a difference maker, period. He's going to have to be huge on the defensive glass. OU's going to have to finish in traffic because they block shots so well. Drive and dish.
Hey, well, I also curious, wouldn't you say that regardless of who we got who we would have got matched up against, that it couldn't be any more difficult than the gauntlet of schedule we just played this year?
Oh, I agree with you there. I agree with you on that. I mean, it's been a brutal schedule for Oklahoma this year, and this is going to be like another game in the SEC, but it's a game they can win. I mean, they can win this game. I'm going to pick Oklahoma. I'm just thinking the draw in general. If the whole West region is brutal, it's the gauntlet, man. That region is brutal. I mean, all the experts are already saying it. The West region is just loaded. You're muted.
I am.
No,
I
Jeremy
was. Sorry.
was.
I predicted 10. I predicted OU to be 10 in the West. I was wrong. They're 9 in the West, but OU's had success out West before. And I agree. Play hard and don't get embarrassed. Just come with the effort you gave the last 2 weeks of the season, and I don't think anyone's going to be upset.
Hey, the good thing about the other team does not have Otega Owe on it, so that's a plus.
That's a plus. That is and no former OU player. So
hey, and also it kind of reminds me of what year was it that OU played? Was it Gonzaga the first round? We had was that a couple years ago or no? I guess it wasn't.
It was second round. They beat Missouri.
I think
first
it was the
round.
last time OU made the tournament.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
They beat Missouri and then lost to Gonzaga with Drew Timme and all those boys.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So, well, I would love. Hey, I'm with you, Jeremy. I would love nothing better than to beat Dan Hurley.
Oh,
hey, and Okie, when Fears drives and hopefully gets some calls, Danny Hurley's going to lose his mind.
Oh, I hope so. That guy is something else.
That's right.
Hey, appreciate it. For the live, I'm going to put the suit on, and I'm going to have some Moser Magic quotes tonight because it's time for it, Randy. Moser Magic loading right now.
You guys having the show tonight too?
Yep, 9:30 we'll be on. Hey, and then we'll have the info for the bracket challenge, so you'll be able to join on that. We'll get all that out.
Okay, I'm all about it. Hey, let's go. We're going dancing, baby. Boomer Sooner.
Right.
Have a good one, Okie.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, Germ. Finally, after 4th year of Porter Moser in the tournament. Feels good. Feels good. So.
And Sooner Thrawn, we were just saying that it is a tough draw. Even more tough is the second round matchup. I like the opportunity to take down Connecticut. Although, look at Connecticut. Go look at their games, Jay. They have been playing really well the last 10 games.
They've been a lot better down the stretch.
They struggled early on. They struggled mid. They found something. They're playing a lot better.
Well, and they didn't beat St. John's. They lost to him twice this year. I believe they beat Marquette twice. Marquette's a ranked team. I think they split with Creighton maybe. So they got some big wins. But they have been stronger down the stretch. And Dan Hurley's a really dang good coach. You don't win 2 national championships without being one of the best coaches in the country. He's going to have them guys ready to play. So,
hey, how much passion on the sidelines? Moser and Hurley. Hey, Nathan, how many schools in the Texas, Oklahoma area made it? Oklahoma, Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, North Texas didn't make it. Maybe 4.
I think there's more than that.
I'm not sure, Jay.
Let me see here. Houston.
Oh, duh, Houston. That's 5. SMU didn't make it. TCU didn't make it.
I don't know where.
Okay, I asked this earlier, and Jay.
Baylor's in.
Baylor, that's another one, Jay. 6. You're right. Hey, I would compare UConn. Man, I'm trying to think. Got some shooters, some good forwards. Jay?
What about Mississippi State?
I was going to say maybe Ole Miss.
What about Mississippi State? I mean, if you're comparing them to the other 8 seeds, Mississippi State's an 8 seed. I think they're better than Mississippi State, but I mean.
Well, the only thing that makes them better than Mississippi State is the guy standing on the sideline.
They got better. They got better talent than Mississippi State.
You take Danny Hurley off the sideline. This team.
No, they got better.
I think OU has the advantage.
They got better talent, Jeremy.
Okay.
Than Mississippi State. Yeah, monster conference, unbelievable, crazy stuff. And not only do you get 14 teams in, 13 of them are not in a play-in game. You only get 1 in a play-in game, so that's crazy. Ooh, now this is a good comparison. I like this one right here. That's the comp. I think. A&M.
I don't think A&M has good as shooters, but maybe I could be wrong.
No, they got some shooters, Jeremy. Are you
that say
Wade Taylor? Wade Taylor?
He's good. Does that say LSU or ISU?
ISU got in. Yes, 3 seed.
Yeah, they're a 3 seed.
3 or 4.
I like them a lot.
Yeah, I do too. But they're injured right now. That's the problem with them is they got some guys injured, so they need to get healthy.
Let me ask you a question, Jay.
Yeah.
Would you have rather been in the play-in game as an 11 seed?
No, I don't want to be in a play-in game.
Okay.
But I would have rather been an 11 seed and got a. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at this. You could have been an 11 or a 10, but you could have been an 11. First round, you could have got BYU. I like that matchup better. You could have got as an 11 seed Missouri. They wouldn't do that first round though. That's the only issue with that. That probably had something to do with the seeding as well.
They're not getting rid of Sooner throwing. They're not getting rid of Moser unless Moser goes his own ways. I mean, they made the tournament. They're not getting rid of him. I don't care if
Moser's not going anywhere. I mean, they're not getting rid of him. So, I'm happy for Porter. I'm happy for him.
I am too. Now keep playing like they've been playing. Just give that kind of effort on Friday.
Hey, you know what? Say all you want. We can break this game, and we will break this game down for the next 5 days. I promise you. We have a live show every night. We'll be talking about it all the time. It doesn't. You want to win in March? Give me a few things. Give me guards that score. Give me shooting. You got to shoot the ball well, and you got to play freaking defense. If you do that, if you shoot the ball well and your guards don't turn the ball over, good chance you can beat teams in the NCAA tournament. And they got good guards. OU's got good guard play, man.
Hey, the other thing playing Friday does not only give Sam Godwin a chance to heal up. Dayton Forsyth had the knee, banged up knee. I think it gives him another day. And I said yesterday, I think Goodine and Forsyth could be X factors.
Possibly. I'm going to do some digging on this on the UConn roster. Big Orange says Volunteers lose the Gators, but I like the bracket. I like the bracket too. Now it's interesting though. Sweet 16 matchup, Kentucky. Look at that one.
Yeah.
Kentucky, Tennessee, Sweet 16 matchup.
I got a request, Big Orange. Destroy Otega Oweh and the Kentucky Wildcats, please.
Oh, please. Yes. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, and what was the final in that game today with Florida? I didn't see what it ended up being, but
yeah, I'm not sure what the final was, Jay.
Florida's hot, man, down the stretch. So, and let me just go ahead and say it because I've been pretty blunt about it. I'm not a Florida fan. I'm not the coach at Florida, Golden. I'm not a fan. And I'm serious when I say this. Germ, out of all the 6 teams, whatever they have in there now, 64, but I know it's 68 or whatever. But let's just go 64. There's probably not 2 coaches that I despise worse than the 2 that OU drew if they get in the first 2 rounds.
I agree, Jane. That's the first thing I thought of.
I just don't like either of them. Sorry.
You don't know what it is. Jake.
I don't know what it is. I know what it is about Hurley, but
he just doesn't like it. Hey, Okie Lawn guy. I talked to my sons. I said if OU plays in Wichita or Lexington, we would for sure Wichita, but Lexington we would consider. But Raleigh, man, Raleigh's like 15 hours away. It's a long one.
Yeah, it's not happening for me.
Hey, but the biggest news is OU is in. They're dancing again. Opening round matchup Friday. By the time we go live tonight at 9:30, we'll know game time, tip time for that game, and what their schedule looks like Friday, Sunday. We'll have other things to talk about. I'm going to do some research on UConn as well. But yeah, the biggest news is this team's dancing for the first time under Porter Moser, 9 seed against UConn, and then if they win that, they're going to play Florida because they're going to destroy Norfolk State, I'm sure. But hey, thanks for watching this short live instant reaction video about NCAA tournament bracket revealed. We're going to have all the info for our bracket challenge later tonight. So make sure you're back tonight at 9:30. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Start of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off your first 3 months. If you're new here, subscribe. The Sooners are dancing, and I am as well. Let's get after it, Sooner Nation.